Working 80 hours a week can be challenging. It has its pros and cons, no doubt about that. But oftentimes it's situational. I always say if you're in debt, you might want to take up another job, whether it be part-time and or full-time, to put money towards your debt. Because so long as you have debt, your overhead, whatever you make is not necessarily yours because you owe someone. Now, I know it's a good thing and a bad thing when it comes to good debt versus bad debt. Good debt meaning you own a home, you got a good interest, or you're putting double when it comes to the payments. Let's say your payments is a $1,500 mortgage, but you're paying $3,000. Or it's $3,000 and you have enough money to where you're paying $6,000. You can pay down that interest. You can pay off that loan that you've taken out to finance that home a lot quicker. And the only thing you have to do once you pay it outright is just pay property taxes. So a lot of people ask me, how do you deal with working 80 hours a week, 2 jobs, especially me being a family man with children? You got to look at the pros and the cons, and you got to decide, is it worth it for you? But even if you decide it's not worth it for you based on how you're going to feel about it, look at it in spaces, in sections. So I always say, don't go into it thinking you're going to do this forever. Go into it with the mindset of you're going to do this for an extended period of time. It may be longer for some people, maybe shorter for some people. You could tell someone you're going to do this for 6 months. They might think that's too long. Some people do it for 3 to 5 years. Somebody's going to think that's insane. But it's the possibilities that come with it. First of all, you got to be disciplined. Before we get to the pros and cons, you have to be disciplined. Because the pros and cons don't matter if you lack discipline. The pro of working 2 jobs is more money. Let's say you're doing it to just have more money. If you're not disciplined, you'll find yourself doing this for longer than need be. If you want to pay off debt and you don't have discipline, you'll never pay off that debt, but the whole time you're making more money. You might as well not have made more money in the first place, because when you bring the cons into effect, it can and will bring mental and physical fatigue. It can mess with your health a little bit. It can bother you in some areas. Some people say it will age you faster because of the stress. Now that depends on what jobs you have. Me, I tell you guys all the time, I'm blessed. My jobs are not that physically demanding. When I was doing the 2 job thing and I was full force, you can see in my earlier videos, I understood that what I had in front of me was beneficial. I would drive trucks at night. It wasn't that physically demanding. I just had to make sure I got some sleep, which I always did. I would get off and I would do the apps. Now, eventually I stopped doing the apps and I started working at Target, being a security guard. So I had 2 full-time jobs and I was getting paid well. I did that and I still did the apps. This is when I was making $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 a month. But it's focusing on putting that money to pay off debt. You can make $12,000 a month, but if you got student loan debt, credit card debt, you still own a car, you might want to put that money towards that debt. And then still go through that process, because now you can save more. Everything that you make, you keep. So long as you pay for your essentials, your bills, everything after you've paid for your bills, after you've paid for your essentials, that's your money. You literally don't owe anybody. You understand what I'm saying? To do more gets done. But if you're not disciplined, the more you're doing, it's not going to be a benefit long term. We always want to think long term. That's why you have pros and the cons. The pro is you're going to make more money. You're going to work more. You're going to yield more. You're going to have more. You might even learn more, because depending on what your job is, you'll build skill sets around working so much, being able to be aware of what it is that you're doing, becoming better at your job. And you can take that work ethic and you can put it into anything. Let's say you want to start a business or you want to be an entrepreneur. If you can work 80 hours with 2 jobs, you can work 80 hours for yourself and build yourself a business, and you can deal with the mental stress. At least you would have built up practice dealing with mental stress. You see what I'm saying? But first things first, discipline. You got to have discipline. Other pros of working 80 hours a week comes with productivity. More work hours can lead to completing more tasks and projects, potentially accelerating career progression. Productivity is never an accident. It is always a result of commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. That's a quote by Paul Myers. Obviously, we talked about financial benefits. Extra work often means extra income, which can help achieve financial goals faster. But you don't have discipline, you will never achieve those financial goals. I already spoke about skill development. Spending more time at work can often lead to acquiring more skills and learning abilities, enhancing your professional growth, which you can then take to something else. Okay, we talked about the skills, we talked about financial benefit, we talked about getting more done, but let's talk about the cons. So, you're going to have burnout. How do you minimize burnout? First things first with the cons. You got to have a healthy diet. So with the pros, I talked about discipline. That's first things first. The cons, diet. You're going to have mental and physical fatigue. If you used to sleep 6 hours working a regular job, just when I mean regular, I mean 8 hours. If you thought you was tired from working 8 hours, wait until you see how you feel after working 16 hours. But what helps us? A good diet. You can't eat fast food every day, if not at all. You can't drink alcohol every day, if not at all. Now, before you get all in your feelings about this, I'm going to be completely real with you. And it's not about how you feel, it's about what needs to be done. If you need that extra money, you need to sacrifice. Now, if you're going to drink alcohol and that's something you can't put down, think about it like this. I said do it in sections, do it in spaces. You have a 6-month space, a 6-month window. For 6 months, you're going to try your best to not drink alcohol. After 6 months, you work 2 jobs, you pay off your debt, you save up your money, you invest, whatever it is that you need to do. That's on you. That's nobody's business but yours. Now you can go back to drinking alcohol. If you can't go without McDonald's or fast food, after 6 months, you can go back to eating as much fast food as you want. Because like I always say, I'm not here to tell people what to do. We're here to give us perspective. I love talking about perspectives. I love expressing my mindset towards things. But I often tell you, I'm a money guy. Everybody is not born with money. But we all, maybe not all of us, can express this. Some of us have built the habit of saying we don't need it. We all need money, though. We're not going to sell ourselves for money, but we're going to get money. So before you even acknowledge the cons and say it's not worth it, are you on a healthy diet? Do you have a strict regimen? Second, you need to work out. You need to build durability. Lifting weights, sprinting, jogging, stretching, swimming, jumping rope, whatever it is that you need to do that because that builds the durability. A healthy cardiovascular system will help you push through, and that will help you also build the mentality to push through when you're working these long hours. If you can go in the gym and put some stress on your body for an hour, if you can go out on a basketball court or a tennis court or get in a pool or just go out in a personal space or a public space and just have some time to put some work in for your health and push yourself mentally, you can do it mentally when you're working these long hours. Keep the end goal in mind. Pro, discipline. Con, health. Keep the end goal in mind, though. You're doing this for financial benefit to either pay off debt, save money, boost your lifestyle. The pros, build skill sets, acquire knowledge that you can then use to explode your financial gain, explode your goals, reach those goals quicker, and then you can keep that process moving forward. But in the end, it's always about mentality. A lot of people are just going to say, don't be soft, just do it, you're a grown man. No, I kind of want to get into detail about how it's going to work out because you're going to be tired. I'm going to say that again. Your ass is going to be extremely tired. But keep in mind your end goal. Keep in mind the reason why you're doing this, and then be disciplined. Don't let that extra money get you to go start buying designer clothes and, you buying Jordans, and some of y'all, I'm going to just call it how I see it, you trying to spend money on the hoes. No disrespect to the ladies, but that's your mentality. I'm calling you out. Yes, I'm calling you out because you're not doing this for that. You're doing this for your financial benefit. You're doing this to put yourself in a position. I talked about how the economy, inflation, the president, all these things, they do take a toll and they do have an impact on their life. But nobody has an impact on your life more than you. Nothing and no one has an impact on your life more than you. It's the decisions we make. It's the consistent and persistent effort that we have to put ourselves in a position to better suit our lives. It's not what anybody else is doing that we can't control. It's all about what we can control. That's something you have to always think about. No matter how big your pockets get, do what makes sense first. Logic, not emotions. Don't go buy clothes and jewelry and houses and new cars. That Scat Pack, Hellcat, whatever the hell, that can wait. You understand what I'm saying? Keep your little Toyota Camry. I still got my old Nissan Versa. Don't matter what you see me sitting in right now, I still got all my old cars. Keep your mind focused on what needs to be done first. That's going to push you. When them days you don't want to get out of bed, look at that bank account. It may be empty. Now go look at that credit report. You paying off that credit. You paying off that debt. Your credit is going up. A lot of things can be achieved with good credit and also with money. This all falls down into the work-life balance. A lot of people are going to talk about work-life balance. Listen, this is where you got to be a little bit insane. You got to be a little crazy. But when you want extreme results, sometimes you have to do extreme things. Just make sure you have a system. So, besides the pros and the cons, besides discipline and health, set priorities. Focus on high-impact tasks and Delegate when possible. Take breaks. Short breaks can improve focus and productivity. Stay organized. I can't emphasize this as much. You need to be organized. Not just something you write down on a paper and say this is your to-do list. No, you have to be organized with your time. You cannot waste time. You can't waste money and you cannot waste time. Those are the two biggest assets. Your time, then money. You can't waste either. Use tools and apps to manage tasks and deadlines effectively if you have to. Maintain health. We talked about that. Ensure you eat healthy, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep. Stay connected. Keep in touch with your friends and family. If you're married, talk to your wife. Talk to your husband. Kiss your kids on the cheek, your forehead, tell them you love them. Keep these things to the core as much as possible. What I mean by that? Even though you're spending less time with them, don't act like you're not going to ever have time with them. And the little time that you do have, act as if it's the same amount of time you once was spending before you took down this path of greatness. Because it is greatness, because a lot of people won't ever do this because it's too much. It's too much pain. But the greatest people in the world took the most pain. They built the pain tolerance, mentally, physically, and they achieved a lot of things using their mental and their physical attributes. So kiss your children, kiss your wife, kiss your husband. Don't let that time away dictate how much time you have to give them, because even though you're not spending 3 hours anymore, those 30 minutes are still good 30 minutes so long as you dedicate those 30 minutes with unadvised attention, uninterrupted attention. You understand what I'm saying? And always remember, while working these 80 hours plus is beneficial, it's essential to strike a balance between your health and well-being. Whatever that is to you, whatever that means to you, do it. We're not here to say this works and this is only what works. Some people are going to do different things, right? That's why I gave plenty of examples. But it's a mind thing, man. You have to really sit down and say, can you do this? I know a lot of people have said it. A lot of people have said that they tried and they can't do it. And a lot of people have said that they've been doing it for years. My question to you, my call out to you, why are you doing it for so long? If it's necessary, make sure you don't do it double. So if you've been doing it for 5 years, let's not spend the next 5 years doing the same thing. By now, we're supposed to have had a plan that we followed, and we're supposed to be putting ourselves in a better situation. And if you've given up, but you realize that you should have possibly kept going, that's okay. You're human. Get back into the fight, but be disciplined, have a healthy diet, focus on the pros and the cons, but at the end of the day, stay connected, be in shape, eat healthy, and keep yourself locked in on the end goal. Because even though I say you shouldn't do this forever, you do it however long you need to put yourself in a better situation. And only you know what type of situation you're in and how hard you got to go. Go hard and stay focused.